thank you for coming to the Isle of Man.
My pleasure.
It's great to see, but it's not your first time.
No, I've been there twice before, actually. I came here, I can't remember when exactly, but to fly at an air show, there's an air show here, and I came over with a team of World War II airplanes, and that was really cool, enjoyed that. But then the other time, what wasn't quite so cool, we were, again with the aeroplanes, we were trying to get back from Ireland, back to where we're based near Essex, and we got caught out with the weather. It came in much sooner than forecast, so we turned back to Ireland and couldn't do that, and ended up coming here. But that was quite hairy, actually. Didn't enjoy that at all.
It can be an interesting landing at the best of times.
Yeah, when we got to the runway, that was a good bit. It was flying along under the cliff level through the rain and trying to avoid the mass of sailing boats. I mean, it was heavy rain coming in. It was quite a thing, that one.
And you started flying as a young lad, didn't you? And we got into it through sort of air training or something? Or?
Oh, I was in the air training corps when I was 12, 13.
Yeah, that's early, yeah.
So I did a little bit of flying with them. But it was, I can't remember, I was 19, 20 when I started to do my licence properly. And then the music career took off, so it kind of stopped for a bit, for about a year, because I was touring. And then, so I went back and finished it, I think 1980, something like that. And then I got into multi-engine aeroplanes and helicopters and did all that. And then eventually, through a chance meeting, I ended up getting into historic aeroplanes, World War II aeroplanes. So I bought one of them, and that got me into air display flying. I was an air display pilot for about 15 years.
Yeah, that's quite something. They take a lot of looking after.
Yeah, it's they're challenging, to fly. I mean, they're very powerful, but I loved it. I loved it. It seems weird to me now that I don't do it anymore, because it was, for such a big part of my life, it was the most important thing in it. Yeah. More than music. I absolutely loved it. But then children come along, and your priorities change, and it was dangerous. I mean, pretty much everyone I knew that did it was killed in one crash or another. So, it takes its toll on people.
Yeah, talk about dangerous. I think the guy that built my mum's house in Guildford, he had a Spitfire. I can't remember the name of the builder.
Charles Church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He built my mum's house and then bang, gone.
Yeah.
So that was pretty...
I argued with him about 2 weeks before that happened, strangely enough.
Did you?
About that.
Yeah. What, the whole safety element?
Well, yeah, my argument was that to have a reasonable level of engineering skill or mechanical skill knowledge would be a good thing, because if the aeroplane started to vibrate or bits were falling off of it, whatever it might be, you would be able to make a more educated decision on what you needed to do about it. Land immediately, go somewhere safe, whatever it might be. And Charles thought the opposite. He thought it would cloud your judgment. So we didn't see eye to eye on that at all. And then unfortunately he was killed in an accident not long after.
Now musically, it's the first time you've played here.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, so you've flown here, but you haven't played here before.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Now, we, the audience, are looking across this amazing catalogue, as they say in the business. How do you put the set together?
Well, you're promoting the new album, so there will be a big emphasis on...
Where's the camera? Where's the got him here. There you go.
So that's a good third of it would be new album. And then you've got certain things that you kind of have to play.
Of course.
And that takes up a few more.
Yeah.
And then, so you've really only got to choose maybe 6 or 7 songs from that catalogue. And the catalogue's about 400. So it is tricky. So there is a tendency to play safe a little bit and play things that people like.
Yeah, but when I looked at all the songs and went through them, I was playing a load last night actually. There are certain things. Oh gosh, yes, that and that Purple Patch. When you had a couple of other big hits from another album, and you think, oh yeah, I've forgotten that one. You've sort of gone. Is it a sine wave of success? There's been troughs and peaks, and it's been a bit of a mixture.
It's more like a corrugated career.
Yeah, but hasn't it? And then people sort of people younger than me suddenly rediscover or discover you for the first time.
Yeah, it's been. The last 12 months have been amazing, actually, from that point of view. When the new album, when Savage got to got to number 2 in the chart when it came out. When they told me about that, I probably cried like a baby. It was, and I didn't know that was coming. I didn't know I had so much sort of emotion tied into it. Yeah. And my wife took the phone call and said, number 2, and it was, you can't believe it. But it's not an emotional outpouring because of what that one record has done. I don't think it's the 25, 30 years, whatever, of being corrugated, getting back to that point again where you're right back up there. And I swear to you, this is true. For all of the number 1 albums that I had before, the one that has meant the most to me, I've done 21 albums, I think. This new one means the most to me. I appreciate now what it means to be sort of at the top of the chart, or near the top of the chart, in a way that I never did when I first started. It all seemed to come so easily, and it seemed, well, that easy, and that's, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way. It just did. It just seemed easy. So you don't really appreciate the magnitude of what's happened, but you spend 35 years trying to get back there, and you really do. You really, really appreciate it. So this one means the world to me.
Not a lot of people achieve it. It's one of those things that when I saw this going up the chart and then bang, number 2, I thought, who kept you off number 1, by the way? Do we know?
Foo Fighters.
Oh, well, they're fair dues. Fair enough. I was going to, if it was something like Joe Dolce or,
Do you know what weird? Dave Grohl lives about a mile away from my house.
Well, that's fair enough, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.